Thanks for joining us on the Black Chicks Talk Flix. I'm Emily Mathalier,
And I'm Giovanni Powell.
and we'll be discussing Edge of Tomorrow today. We will be discussing the movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, Bill Paxton, and Brandon Gleeson. That was the main cast there. Bill Paxton looked good in that movie. I did not recognize him with that haircut. I was like, oh yeah, that is him. What did you think? It was a really good movie. One word that stuck out was suspenseful. Very suspenseful.
I was I was impressed because usually, like I said before, I wouldn't really go and see an action movie, but the action in this movie was like really good, and I love the way that the aliens look. Like they were way different than I think I've ever seen. We were saying they were a toss up between,
Oh yeah,
what did
it
we say?
was those creatures in Matrix with all the arms.
With like a
Yeah,
dog's head.
yeah, because the way they moved, and then it had like the fire thing of Godzilla, like that blue mouth thing.
Yes. There
It
was a lot
was.
going on with those. I wonder where they came up with the concept.
I don't know, but it scared me because when it was before they showed them, I was sitting there thinking like, as these people were dying, you couldn't really see it. So I was like, where are these aliens? I
Right.
want to know what they look like. I don't want to know what they look like. When they finally appeared, it was like, yeah, whoa, 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 yeah, it scared me.
Right, because all you saw was like a
Yeah,
spinny
yeah, because they
thing.
were like moving so fast. So basically, there's this movie called Elysium where it had like the exoskeleton thing, and that was like the first movie that. So it was like a cross between like Elysium and like Groundhog Day. You saw Groundhog Day, right, with Bill Murray? No, you didn't
Of
see
course
that.
not.
Oh, it was a good movie. It was just like this.
No.
Like he just kept on reliving the day over and over and over again. It was,
That would be
but it
pretty
was like
bad.
it was a comedy take of it, and I liked that part of the story, which was very novel because they've never done that in anything in it as an action movie. So I really enjoyed that. It was really good, and I thought Emily Blunt was badass too. She was a really good action hero, which I never would have thought that she could
Yes.
be. So she was tough. She was a tough chick. I liked it. Yeah, and they
Very
had
tough.
some comedic moments.
Yes. I love how she kept shooting him over and over and over and over. That was
She
pretty
was
funny.
kind of cruel though. She was like, "Let's reset." Boom.
Well, they had to because he was hurt.
But
I understood it.
he hated
He
it with a
hated it.
passion,
Of course, he had to repeat the day all over again.
and he had to remember everything that he did, and yeah, yeah,
Yes.
it was really, it was definitely suspenseful. It was like I was riveted
Definitely.
the entire time I was at that movie. But unfortunately, in the whole scheme of things, um, it, it's it, it didn't make any. It lost money. It didn't make money.
I know a lot of my guy friends who were like
Hmm.
crazy into action. They were like it was crap. They
Why?
hated it. They didn't like the way the aliens looked. The story was unbelievable. Um, they weren't happy with the ending. They didn't care for the romance, even though it
No,
wasn't
they
that much
really
romance. It was
no.
like, what, they
Yeah,
shared
that
one
really
kiss.
wasn't. No.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But they were just
I
like,
would say it was
no.
like a
They were
camaraderie ship. It was like more like soldiers together trying to make, yeah, yeah. And then
right.
then later you can see at the end that last scene that it could transform into something else. But I didn't get like a romance because Emily Blunt's character was not having it. She was all work, honey. She was all
Of
about
course.
the job. So they didn't like it. Yeah, and it's a toss up because I know some other fellow movie reviews and they loved it. They thought it was a really great movie. They thought it was really good. At the end of the day, it only made $257 million. So one
How much
hundred
did it cost
seventy
to
eight
make it?
million and
Oh, and after Tom Cruise is what,
million
500,000,
you had to make him do it. Yeah,
dollars.
his paycheck because the out of the 245 mil, about half of it is what the producers get, the people who make the movie get.
Where's Tom Cruise's money at?
So at the end of the day, it's out of what would that be like 130, 135 mil only. Yeah, so they're not. They have to. They're gonna make their money later on, I guess, when it goes to on demand. It's syndicated on like HBO because they get, they can get money from that too. But at the end of the day, it didn't. It wasn't a profitable movie. But I enjoyed it. Thought it was really good. To me, it was a must see.
To me, it was a. I'll give it a must see because
That
I thought it was pretty good. I'm really upset it didn't make that much money.
what killed it. A year it was the domestic box office. The worldwide box office is really good. But you know what? To be honest with you, I think maybe because it was Tom Cruise, people are kind of because Tom Cruise is very. I say one dimensional. He's one dimensional. He plays the same character. He plays the same character in every movie, which is the Mission Impossible, the Jack Reacher, the one last year. Which one was the one last year when he went to this planet? He played the same thing. He's like
I'm trying to think, do I know any Tom
no,
Cruise
it's the same
movies?
thing. Way back from like Top Gun. It's like the reluctant hero. That's what he is. He's the reluctant action hero. He has to do it because they're forcing him to do it. He's like in a retirement. He doesn't want to do it anymore. It's the same thing. But he has to do it because either he has to he's trying to save himself, or he's trying to, get out. They're gonna put him in prison, or he was somebody. They what is that? What's the term? Someone they pinned something on him, but he didn't do it. What is that called? I can't remember it right now. Um, like a scapegoat, and he has to prove his innocence. So then he has to get back and become a spy again. It's all this. It's all the same type of movies. So we're just like, it's another one of Tom Cruise's type of movies. I don't care. That's what it is. So
But can he realistically play any
that's all
other
he plays
role?
is that.
But I mean, could you see him as like any type of
he
what's his
he played
face?
he played a vampire Lestat in Interview with a Vampire. He was good in that, but it's the same type. He
But could you have seen him as Forrest Gump?
no
No, he would have been crazy
he
as
doesn't have
Forrest
the
Gump.
acting chops for that.
He's no
No, no,
Samuel, so he couldn't have been on a plane with snakes.
but that movie did really well because it didn't cost a lot of money to make. This movie was too expensive. No offense,
I wonder why it was
I
so
bet because of the
expensive.
special effects, and there was a lot of scenes in it. If you looked at it, there was a lot of different scenes in that movie,
I felt like they just showed me the same scene over and
which
over
were
again.
no, but there was the scene where they were like in the bunker, and then they had the thing where he was in the water. There was a lot of different elements in there if you think about it. So that adds, yeah, you see, it adds up to a lot of money.
And they were in the
Yeah,
air.
yeah, and all that stuff, that military stuff, the hardware, all that stuff is very expensive. You gotta rent that stuff. It's a lot of money. So that could make the budget go way up. So,
And since it was Tom Cruise, he had to get his 100 million off the
he might have
top.
had a back end deal. Movies like this, you do know how back end deals work?
No, please explain it to me and the
Okay,
viewers.
viewers, this is how back end deals work. What happens is that sometimes, what people who make movies and there's a limited amount of, they have a budget and they don't want to spend all the budget on the actors. So instead of like spending 20 million or 10 million dollars, whatever it is to get Tom Cruise, they'll say, oh, we would prefer to use that budget to do CGI or green screen or motion capture, or just use it to do locations or get props, whatever. So what they'll say is that they'll say, okay, I'll give you $5 million up front, like cash, and you have a back end deal, and you'll get after a certain point, like 2% or 3% or 5% of whatever the movie grosses. So at the end of the day, that movie makes maybe 245 million now, but let's say in so many years down the road, it could make 500 million with all the DVDs and online and everything. So he'll be getting that residue money for all the life of the movie. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So at the end of the day, you don't get your money up front, but you could get more money, but it's gonna take some time because it's after the fact. So for all the time of the movie, he has
Okay.
a percentage of that movie for the life of how long that movie is well forever. So that's the back end points. So it's the same thing. Yeah, it is. That's why
Not
people who
bad.
do like I don't know if you know Seinfeld. Seinfeld had like he was a writer and a producer. So all the time that's in syndication, he's getting money. So for the life of the show, he'll be getting paid from Seinfeld. So
They're never gonna stop
exactly. So
showing
he's
that.
always gonna have money in his pocket. So he doesn't have to work some anymore. So that's the thing is that if I was in Hollywood, in the movie business, I was in the movie business for a short period of time doing costuming. If people want to know why, I know the back end, so I did that. And the monies is in production and being a writer and a producer because then you always get paid from it. Because the actor, you just act, they
Pretty
pay you,
cool.
you you don't own it. It's whoever owns the show. So, like, if we got a show, we want to be the producers. Why you made that face for?
I make a lot of different faces.
I don't know if you could really translate to television, but a talk show would be interesting. We would be calling in. Yeah,
A
it
radio
would
talk
be
show would be
awesome.
awesome.
One day I would like to integrate. We could do that, but that's gonna take maybe a couple of years out. Integrate where people could call in and could answer questions.
I'm sure the people who watch
Oh,
this
oh
would
yeah,
call
of
in.
course they would. There's certain stuff they want to know. Um, I did have a question for somebody asked me. I had someone asked me why did I start the show, and the reason why I started it was because I wanted to. I liked movies, and I saw a lot of YouTube movie reviews from people, and there wasn't enough. Well, I didn't see any person of color do one movie review, so I said, "Oh, okay, here's a niche. We just roll in there." And I asked Giovanni, she's my great friend. We go to movies all the time, and she wanted to do this with me, and this is how I started it. So it's as simple as that. Two black chicks talking about movies was born.
Sounds pretty
Yeah, it's
good to
simple.
me.
It's easy. Um, so I mean, Edge of Tomorrow definitely. I said it's a must see. Um, hopefully, it has legs afterwards. Like it'll be downloaded on demand, DVD, and it'll bring it to being at least break even. If they break even with the movie, that's good. The studio just don't want to lose money.
Right. Like they did with the 100 million ways to bomb in the
Yeah.
West.
Actually, you know what? Let me look that up and see. Um,
Sorry,
I'm
Seth.
just man, you are out for that guy, dude. I don't know why. So
Horrible movie.
I heard 22 Jump Street is really awesome. We got to go see that.
Yeah, guys, we're so sorry. We have to catch up on a couple of movies, but once we see them, we'll review them and you guys will have more
Yeah.
videos.
Like I said, we had a little trip to AC and it was great. We needed it. We need a holiday. And no offense, but
Yes.
I'm not going to see the movies on a holiday. We were at the club.
No.
Let's see.
Club? Ooh.
Club.
I would never go
That was
to a
the
club.
club we were at. It was just a big one on the casino floor. So, A Million Ways to Die in the West. Domestic total is 380 million for a grand total of 65 million dollars, and the production budget was 40 million. So they're still in the hole by a little bit because the production budget is not counting how much they had for advertisement. So they could have spent another
Mm,
20 million for advertisement for the movie. So of course, it
pretty bad.
poor Seth there. That didn't work out for him. Maleficent is still number three. It is in the top three.
Maleficent is still an
Hmm.
awesome movie.
Yes, it was. Maleficent is still there. So I gotta tell Angelina Jolie, And How to Train Your Dragon is number two.
What's number
Twenty
one?
Two Jump Street. 22 Jump Street is number one, which I heard was very funny.
Um, I heard that Jersey
Hmm.
Boys right now is people are trying to choose between
Hmm.
men, you know, what is it? Think
Hmm.
Like a Man too, and they're trying to choose between Jersey Boys. So I really want
So
to
we
see
can
both.
compare,
So we'll see what happens.
which
Yeah,
is basically they're both male ensemble movies, but one is a black man and the other one is a white man. Um, so worldwide, Maleficent made $445 million. Yeah,
that's
they did
sick. How much did that cost to make?
180. So
Oh,
they're
wow.
good.
They're
Yeah,
almost triple.
they're really good. They're in there. They're in there like Flynn, like they say. Did really good. I really enjoyed Angelina in that movie.
Yes. I can still like hear some of her
Oh
little
yeah,
jokes.
her little comments.
Yeah.